Hi, I'm Steven.
I'm Derek.
And this is RC Lawn Chair Pilots podcast.
Yay! Roll.
All right, welcome back, everybody.
How was your Christmas?
Hopefully, everybody had a great Christmas.
We all survived the new year so far.
Well, I mean, it's, hours?
No, for us, it's hours. For them, it's weeks.
When are you posting this?
A week from Monday?
Weeks.
Yeah, weeks for them, hours for us.
Yeah. You know, edit time.
Sanity time.
So hopefully everybody had a great Christmas, a great New Year, and that you're ready to, finish up your projects for the springtime and get out and start flying again in like maybe 2 or 3 months. Or
Hopefully you're keeping up on your resolutions so far.
maybe even flying now.
There you go, yeah. There were a couple of the clubs here in Utah just had their freeze flies before New Year's, and
So
great turnout to those.
And we've had great weather to keep flying here. So
sadly, yes.
I'm going to go into something real quick, and then Derek's got a lot of news. Normally he would be first, but we got swag.
I'm not wearing my swag. Mine's put away.
Yes, but so check it out. RC Lawn Chair Pilots podcast. There'll be a link in somewhere for wherever you find this.
There's a link in our Instagram.
I don't know where all the links are at.
I'm trying to remember.
We should have one on our Facebook.
There will be one in this episode description. I don't remember if there's one in Facebook.
The links
there
will be out
links.
there. There might even be one right there.
There won't be a link here, but
oh, that would be weird to put a link right there because
yeah.
they wouldn't be able to click on it.
Exactly, it'll be in the description.
Just look in the description. If you're listening to this, open up the description because you can put links in there too,
yes.
right? Awesome.
Yep. Oh,
yeah.
I do every episode.
Yeah. All right. So now Derek's got some.
Now for my long spiel.
Oh my gosh, we got some exciting news to go over. I say exciting in the fact that you need to be pumped up about this because of what it's going to do. And so it's not the good. Anyway, go. You don't look at me that way.
Do you guys know what he's talking about? I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, here's the thing is this information
changes the face of the hobby.
And you need to, and I use the word excited, maybe we need to be passionate about it.
There you go. Because
excitement and passion can go together.
That's true.
And this is just really hard to be excited.
Yeah, that's fair.
But,
right. Yeah, so
anyway, kick it away. Go for it.
Okay, so 1 year ago, the FAA released their proposed rule for remote identification of all unmanned aircraft and UAS, unmanned aircraft systems. And if you took the time to read through that initial report, it was pages. It was a nightmare.
It was a lot of pages.
It was hundreds of pages. If you took the time to read through it, it was an absolute nightmare. It was a hobby killer. It was going to destroy the world as far as, dude.
It's my first time.
Apparently.
I don't know how this thing works. We're good. Go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you were to read through that initial proposed rule, it was going to ruin the hobby. But they gave us a few months to submit comments. 53,000 comments were submitted, and they worked. That is the key. Those comments worked. So if you put in, I put in 3 comments, but
nice.
If you put in even one comment, and it was one paragraph, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there are, the remote ID still goes through, but they have made serious changes to where it's actually, it's still a major inconvenience to us pilots, but it's not, I personally don't believe it's going to kill the hobby anymore.
All right. That's good.
It makes it a little uncomfortable, but nowhere near as bad as it was.
Okay. Awesome.
So what remote ID is every unmanned aerial system or aircraft, be it quadcopter, drone, because they always say drone, and thankfully they now just say unmanned aerial systems, or unmanned aircraft, so it's a little more broad scoping rather than just calling everything a drone, which we all hated so much. If you're flying in controlled airspace, which is everywhere, you need to be able to broadcast specific information to the local area, identifying the aircraft, the pilot, and I'll get into all this, and where everything is and all that stuff to anyone in the vicinity that is looking for that information. Previously, there were a whole bunch of things like you had to be connected, like pay a service fee to a service provider and connect it to the internet so that anyone could see it anywhere. Like you had to have a mobile data plan for your stupid thing.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, it was terrible. But now...
Only an idiot politician would think of that.
Right.
Who has no idea what anything is.
So most of them.
All is what I would say.
I think there's like 2 or 3 that are okay with okay. That's another topic.
Sorry, that's the wrong type of podcast.
The remote ID has been released and it becomes official in 59 days, not from the time they released it, not from today or from when you're listening to this. But we don't need to be fully in compliance with it till the end of 2023.
So we have some time.
We have either end of 2023. Yeah, 2023. End of 2023, if I remember right, is when we have to be compliant. So we have plenty of time, which is good, because half this crap doesn't exist.
They don't know what they're even looking for yet.
They say, we want this to happen. Do it. So, so there are 3 ways to comply with this rule for remote identification. Manufacturers of... Now, this will be something funny. Manufacturers of RC aircraft, be it DJI drones or ready-to-fly airplanes you buy at the store, they have to have a built-in RFID module transmitter. What it will broadcast is... Hang on,
I have a feeling that portion of it, the ready-to-fly stuff, because there's some more details about different types of things. I have a feeling that ready-to-fly aero systems will eventually go away.
Yeah, I think they're going to be harder.
Or the price is going to triple. Possibly. Not just double, but triple.
Well, we'll see. So you need to be broadcasting a specific serial number to your remote ID broadcaster module thingy.
Yeah.
It needs to broadcast the pilot's FAA registration number, the approximate location, elevation, like latitude, longitude, elevation, and speed of the aircraft. Yeah, that part's going to get hard. And it needs to broadcast the takeoff position of the aircraft, as well, so to get a rough idea of where the pilot's at, as well as broadcast a timestamp.
So when you see the signal, the timestamp of the signal.
And I read into I'm reading through the 470 pages that is this final rule, and you're allowed to have a 1-second delay on the time, which is fine. And it can be broadcast over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, so very short range. So that is the first way to comply. So if a manufacturer makes a ready-to-fly aircraft, meaning it's 100% out of the box, ready to go, it has to have this built in.
Okay.
Second way to comply is a drop-in module. So you go to the store, they estimate, like there have been prototypes in the works, but people are the FAA as well as the AMA are estimating that these things will cost somewhere between $20 to $50. Not terrible. But the nice thing is any aircraft that is not 100% built, so like if you buy it and you come home and you do any work on it at all, even just putting in a receiver and a battery, it is not 100%, so it will not have a remote ID in it.
So, but where do they classify not ready? Because if you get a 6-foot plane, you're not walking that out of the building that you buy, even if it's ready to fly. The wings aren't on it.
No.
Does that classify?
I don't know.
Do they know?
I don't know. That is the weird part. That part is very kind of...
So it's just like everything else that's written by the government.
A little bit.
Vague enough that they can do whatever they want with it.
Little bit. But this is vague enough. I think it's in our favor.
It's written by the government. It's never in our favor.
I know. I agree
Sorry.
with you. But I think in this case, it is just vague enough to be in our favor.
Again, that's a different
It says
podcast.
if you have to do any work on your own, so any assembly,
then we can put in our own drop-in.
Then it doesn't need to come from the manufacturer with a built-in RID system.
Which, I mean, there's some pros and cons to that. I want to talk about that real quick because the pros and cons to that. The pros to that are they can keep prices the same without having to throw in that thing by saying it's not complete, even if it is a complete system. You have to, some assembly are required. Like there's some wording they can put on the box. Again, for my 6-foot airplane or a 6-foot wingspan, you're not going to have the wings on that. You're going to have a 6-foot box that's only 3 inches wide or 4 inches wide, right? So that is definitely some assembly acquired. If the battery and maybe the transmitter, and maybe the receiver are not actually they're in the box, but in a separate package, but not mounted in the aircraft, then maybe that it's not officially ready to fly because you have to do one thing, right?
Yeah, and that's going to be...
I would like to see that, except, and here's the con to that, is now I have to buy a separate part.
It's true.
Because that broadcast has to be there.
It's true. But here's the nice thing. So that say you buy a kit like I usually do, or you buy an almost ready to fly where you have to supply engine and servos and electronics and all that stuff, you go out and you buy a drop-in RID module. They're expecting these things to be tiny, the size of a postage stamp or a thumbnail, like super tiny. I don't know how, but they're expecting it to be tiny.
That module that I talked to you about, the ESP 8266,
the little Wi-Fi module.
Yes, that module has enough data storage on it, and that can be programmed that you could that module could be one.
You just need GPS locations on it.
That's the only thing it's missing.
Yeah. So they expect them to be super tiny, easy to fit in most every airplane. That's fine. That's great. Industry's working on that. So, but the nice thing, if you have a bunch of things like I do where they were kit or almost ready to fly,
you can use the same module.
You buy one module, you put it in whatever plane you're flying at the time. You just swap it out like batteries.
So unlike before,
where you had to have
where everything had to have its own license.
Yeah, previously you had to register. They wanted you to register every aircraft individually and have an RID system for each individual aircraft, which is a nightmare for those of us that burn through foam board airplanes.
Yeah, that is.
Now it's back to what it was of you register as a pilot and just put your registration number with the plane.
And that makes way more sense.
So you register once for yourself. And then you take your RID module and just move it between models. A lot, like that is a world's improvement right there.
Yeah, I like that. I don't like that, but I like the improvement. Yeah. I don't like the fact that they want to have this power, but that's again another podcast.
But again, it's not broadcasting to the world.
It's only broadcasting
to the immediate
local
location.
area.
So like if a police drives by and gets a funny bone in him and is like, oh, I want to check on that plane, he can pull up whatever tracking app, whatever, I don't know, and be like, oh, it's this aircraft, pilot's over there, I'll go say hi. Whatever. That's fine. That is so much better than what it previously was going to be.
I agree, because previously, it you said,
broadcast all your information.
It would have literally killed the hobby.
Yeah.
100%.
We're going to keep moving.
We're good.
All right. So third way to comply is what they call a FRIA, an FAA recognized identification area. These are designated flying fields that either clubs or cities or communities, I don't know, can submit to the FAA and say, hey, this is a regularly flown at, this is like a model airport, or this is just a field that we have designated as a flying field that people can go to. And the FAA will recognize that and put basically a bubble over the area as this is a remote aircraft area.
So anybody in this area.
And you don't have to have RID at all inside that bubble.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Now, the nice thing about this is previously the rule was you have 1 year to apply for this, and then we will not take any more applications, and they'll eventually just kind of fall off to the wayside and disappear.
What?
Right?
That's dumb.
It really is. Now, the application time is indefinite, and they will encourage renewal every 3 years. Or
Okay.
however long the registration period, like how long it lasts, they will encourage, I think it's 48 months. They'll encourage you to renew it.
That's good.
So that's huge.
I love that idea, and I love that idea, if, especially like Free Fly or Before You Fly apps showed that information.
Yeah.
So you could pull it up and say, okay, this is it. And you could see how long, because we want to be flying in those areas, because whatever we need to do to keep them active, that's what we want to do. Like, we want to keep them as active as possible. And if a community can resubmit, or if it can be an auto submit, like if there's so much traffic, so much air traffic in that already established area, if it keeps having air traffic, then we continue to auto renew or whatever. That would be awesome. And then if there's an area where, if there's a place where it gets overdeveloped or people stop going, then that's fine. Let it fall off after X amount of time, and then we go back and we find a new area that we want to fly that's better. Then we should be able to activate a new area. And it shouldn't be super difficult. It literally should be submit a paper, just submit a form and saying, hey, we would like, and here's why, and be done.
The FAA has 20 months to come up with a system for approving these sites. So that's still before we're required to have everything done. So now another thing. So all of this goes into play in 32 months. So September at the end of 2023.
Okay. So not quite the full
not
end.
Quite 3 years. But the fun thing is the FAA reauthorization for this whole mess happens right after that 32 months. So like 33 or 34 months. So that will be our chance to go back in and say, let's make these changes now.
And then
they can work on making changes.
I like that.
We have these 32 months before it's before it's like, this is official, like behave. And then right after that, we can be like, let's submit a whole bunch of comments and change things, or try to get things changed. So that'll be really nice. Keep your eyes open for that. Like,
we'll try to keep you posted also. We'll keep doing our research. So
I did wrote it down. The fixed flying sites, they're good for 48 months.
48 months, nice.
Manufacturers of aircraft have 18 months to comply with putting out aircraft with a built-in module.
Okay.
So they have some time before they need to start complying.
There's another pro right there. That means there might be a drop in aircraft prices for anything that's currently on the shelf.
Oh, yeah, because they need to...
Because they'll have to get it updated.
Yeah.
And it's either send it back or sell it.
Yeah.
So watch for that. There might be some deals out there.
So I was talking about like doing it at home.
Yeah.
And if you have to do work at home, because it used to be if you have to do more than 50% of the work at home, then you put a drop-in module. If more than 50% of the work is done, it has to have a built-in system. They got rid of that 50%, and it's now if you have to do any work at home, then it doesn't need to come with a built-in system.
So you can use the drop-in. So
it's pretty loosey-goosey there, which is nice.
I agree with you. That's definitely some pros.
And like if you buy a kit, so an aircraft you have to assemble, if it comes with 100% of the parts in the box, it has to come with an RID.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even though you're still putting it together,
if it comes with transmitter, battery, receiver, servos, all that stuff,
even though it's not ready to fly, if it's a full kit,
everything is in the kit.
Okay.
It has to have an RID module in there
as part of the kit. Which, like, full kits are still out there, and we do buy them. Right. My Radeon was a full kit.
That was a plug-and-play kit.
That
came without receiver, transmitter, or battery.
Oh, that's true. It wasn't a full kit.
That was a plug-and-play.
That was a plug-and-play kit. That's right. But There are kits out there that are full kits,
they're-
but personally, I've been seeing more plug and play style kits. Those are what I see most of, and I'm not looking specifically for them. I'm just looking for kits in general.
Yeah.
And I see that most of them are plug and play, which I'll talk a little bit more about that later news.
Yeah.
But and so I like the changes. I think.
Oh, and FPV, like before there were huge restrictions with FPV flying. You still have to maintain like line of sight range.
So you have to have a spotter.
And you have to have a spotter.
Yeah. Because as an FPV pilot, you don't have line of sight.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
so you need to have someone that's
so you
maintaining
have to have that. You have to have that
Yeah.
spotter with you, which I'm okay with that.
Yep. So real quick, a couple things to this is a very brief thing that I pulled. So the AMA on their AMA Air podcast did a quick overview of all the changes and how this is actually a better thing than what was before. You can still go check that out on their YouTube. We'll put a link for it. You can go to modelaircraft.org/gov to follow all their updates as more comes out and we learn more about it. And because of all this, I renewed my FAA registration. I've got 3 more years on that number.
Nice.
So $5.
I gotta re-register mine, I think.
So
when did I get?
So there you go. That is our tiny quick summary. I'm still going through the whole document. I know Lee from RC Roundtable is still going through the full document, and he's going to have a whole spiel in one of their next episodes. They're actually going to do a live show about it, so watch for them if it hasn't already happened by the time this comes out. But go check that out. He's really good. He'll have good information for you.
If that has happened by time this comes out, there will be a link in the description.
Yes, exactly.
So if not, then there's no link.
So again, if you submitted a comment, thank you. They worked. This is worlds better than the proposed rule a year ago.
Yeah. Well, and 53,000 comments.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they took them seriously. It was great. So the hobby's not dead. Oh, one weird thing. They say if you're doing indoor flying, you have to it's still between the 250 grams and 500 or 55 pounds. That is still the weight range that you have to comply. If you're less than that, you don't have to comply.
Okay.
But they still say if you're flying indoors, you still have to comply, which I find hilarious.
Yeah.
Because if you're flying indoors, it's less than 250 grams.
Yeah. Maybe they're talking like arena flying or something.
Huge indoor events with scale models. Maybe. But my hair's everywhere now.
Yeah, I don't know what you did there.
I just found that part funny.
That's the only thing I can think of is if you're doing a huge warehouse or arena flying, because that's technically indoors.
Yeah.
But you're
either by yourself with a small group of people, or you are with
you're competing in
an
an event. Any of those means, in my opinion, like the whole. If what they say is true, the whole point of this is so people can maintain their privacy, because I'm going to use the D word, because drones are spying on everybody and taking pictures of civilians.
Yeah.
Which is what caused this, right? It's that fear.
I believe that is the impetus for this.
That fear of that is why people overreacted in this way. So if you're in an event like that, that completely nullifies the fear.
And apparently, I think there's something in there where you can get temporary FAA flight area thingies for events and stuff.
And that would be awesome.
Yeah.
But again, that's laughable. Plus, if you're flying a 250-gram drone in your house, either A, you have a really big house, or B, you're a bachelor and you don't care about your house.
Or you're an amazing pilot.
Nope. It's A or B. It's not C.
Maybe it's a mix of A or B, and C.
I can't fly my big drone in my house.
I know.
I mean, I can fly my big drone in my house, but it like keeps alerting me. You're too close to a wall. You're too close to this. You're too close to that. You're too close
That's
to
when
this.
you need to turn off the computer.
That one, I can only lower the sensitivity. I can't actually turn it off.
That's dumb.
The DJI, it's because it's a mobile camera.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That flies. That's what it's designed for. Yeah. It's not really like a drone or anything. Like
it's
in the
not a
sense.
racing quad.
Yeah, it's more of the look. Let's film this from 30 feet in the air type of thing.
Yeah,
and it does an amazing job with
but it will
that.
Still fly into a tree.
Only in sport mode.
Okay. All right, so we're going to move on. So that's the FAA thing. There's going to be links in the description for where you can read more about this rule, where you can get more information and other people's evaluations of it.
And community support and community involvement is why it's better now.
Yes.
So that's why we're letting the community know. We want more involvement, and that way it will, it's never going to be like it has been in the past, but we can continue to help keep it from being stupid, which is what it tried to be originally.
Yeah.
It tried to be really stupid.
That's true, it did.
And we don't want that. We want the hobby. We want to be able to go out and fly. It's fun to fly. Like that's what Derek and I talked about today earlier. We just want to get out and fly. We want to go have fun. But anyway.
All right, we digress. All right, moving on. You have any fun new products that you're using?
I don't know if they're really fun or new. No, they're fun. They're not new. They're definitely fun. It's the same stuff that I've had the whole time. But I wanted to talk about the batteries again because Richard at
rcbattery.com.
Thank you. rcbattery.com. You may... Yeah, well, there it is, and then maybe right there. rcbattery.com.
You're the one that has to put this in this time.
I do?
Yeah, you're editing this episode.
Oh.
Remember, I'm gone next week.
I thought you were going to take your stuff and edit.
I can't take that computer with me.
I'm terrified now.
We talked about this last episode.
I don't remember.
It's fine. That's
good. That's good.
It's
My
easy.
memory
you
sucks.
Need to practice.
Thank you. I think. Anyway, batteries. Okay, so the charger that the rcbatteries.com sent me, I love this thing. I have been using it. It's so much fun. I would like to see about taking the 6S, the 6S battery that we got, and use them as portable battery chargers. I want to.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to go fly long enough that I need to do that.
You need to stop crashing your planes.
I didn't crash my plane, and we'll talk about that.
You need to stop breaking them.
We'll talk about that. Technically, I don't think I broke it.
It broke on your watch, so it's close enough.
Anyway, this charger is awesome. It's the ISDT Q8 Smart Charger. It'll charge everything from a 1S all the way to an 8S.
Nice.
It is awesome, and depending on your input voltage, you can verify how much current is going to be depending on your input voltage and the current rating of the adapter you have plugged into. You can adjust how much current it's going to pull up to like 12 or 15 amps. Like this thing will charge your thing fast as it will let you charge it.
I was going to say, don't burn out your battery.
Well, that's the thing is it's a smart one. So I could say 15 amps. If the battery won't take 15 amps, it won't push it.
Oh, interesting.
But I've never been able to push that much because mine is only rated for, my adapter is like 1.5. Yeah. But it's okay. It has been performing amazing. I love it.
Nice.
Which goes me to my next two. My two batteries that I've been playing around with is the 2200 milliampere hour, and it's the 35C and the 25C. The stats are 24.42 WH. I'm not sure what that means.
Watt-hours?
That's what I thought. And then 2.2, I think that's the size. I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
And then it's the 3S. They're both 3Ss, and they're 11.1 volts.
Nominal voltage.
Yeah. So the difference between the two is the 35C and the 25C, which is the discharge rate.
Yes.
So the higher
which also affects your charge rate.
Cool. And the higher that number is, basically the bigger kick you have out of the gate.
The faster it'll let you discharge.
So that is pretty awesome. And then, excuse me. The receiver I've been using lately, I have the 2, but the one I've been using lately is the FreeSky 4XR.
RX4R.
RX4R receiver.
I'm glad one of us knows what we're talking about.
I'm even reading it, and I can't read it. It's a great little receiver. I'm really enjoying it. I want to start taking advantage of more of the S-Bus stuff in there because I think that's where I need to go for some of the other stuff I'm working on.
For your Arduino stuff?
But so far, I have been loving this receiver. The other one that I have, which is the VMD5, is a great receiver also. It's obviously a little bit older.
Lots older. But
it is still a good receiver. It still handles really well. It takes care of a lot of things. I'm glad I was able to play around with that, but I think I'm going to my next gen of receivers I'm going to be going all with the newer stuff.
That's a good idea.
And since our transmitter can take it, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. But right now that's what I've got going on my products. I don't have anything new.
Did you get anything RC related for Christmas?
My son did. He got a little remote control flipper car. It's super, super fun.
Oh, one of the ones where the front axle spins around? Or?
No. The body has little trainer wheels on it, and then the wheels are on separate, independent spinning blades, basically. And so they will rotate in any direction, and the body will spin, and so the wheels will spin. So it will drive upside down, right side up. You can get it to do crazy things, but the controls aren't normal controls.
Is it the controller with your hand?
No.
Oh, okay.
The controls are the left stick forward turns the left side.
Okay.
No, only the left side goes right, and you go forward or backwards, and it just goes forward or backwards. The right stick does right side. So if you want to go straight forward, you have to push both at the same time forward. It's a little weird to get used to, especially if you're used to left-right controls. But it is so much fun. It came with it's a ready to work, ready to drive, and it came with 2 rechargeable batteries for the car. The transmitter is, just some AA's, pretty standard.
Standard stuff.
But it is super, super fun. We were doing all kinds of weird things, trying to get it to go up and down stairs, putting boards on the stairs and different things. And it was a ton of fun, and it has been. So that was the only thing. I didn't get any RC stuff related, but my son did. Well, I mean, you gave me some stuff that I can use. For RC stuff, but
exactly.
I haven't gotten anything yet from that.
All right.
So, but that was pretty fun. So, that was another thing. But that was my son, not me.
All right, cool. I'll talk about my products. Hang on.
You may want to switch to the YouTube video at this moment if you're listening to us. So when you get
what's really fun?
When you get to a safe place.
You know what's really fun is rock crawlers. Rock crawlers are so much fun. So my new product is the Axial SCX24. I've got 2 here. I've got the red Deadbolt, and I've got the yellow Jeep Rubicon. These are 1/24th scale. I got one for each of my boys. There you go.
Why didn't you get yourself one?
Why when I have 2? I have 2. What are you talking about?
This is
so
pretty
these
awesome.
are 1/24th scale rock crawlers. And my word,
Check out that suspension.
Yeah, they have got good suspension. Pretty. You can see here in the video. I put a video up on our Instagram of me. So this I'll go right into latest outings and stuff. But I have been going nuts building tracks for these and letting my boys are surprisingly good drivers, especially my oldest. He is getting really good at driving real slow and careful and following behind it and driving up stuff. But I took all the cardboard boxes from Christmas, cut them up into bits and strips, I started building ladders and pathways that are all bumpy and rickety. So like you can climb up onto the couch with these ladder things. And I just built one today with sticks. It's really go. So I'm going to keep talking. You run into the other room, and up against the cardboard on that wall is a board covered in sticks. So this thing is super fun. It runs on a 2S 300. It runs on a 2S 350 milliamp battery. It has a special JST power adapter plug that goes straight into the ESC receiver in here. Oh my gosh. So this is it in the so I have a bunch of sticks and stuff from clearing out trees in my yard. And as you can see in the video here, I created a ladder board / obstacle that you can just lay down on the ground and drive along and practice your crawling skills.
This is freaking awesome.
Yeah. I haven't tested it yet. I figured we could do that.
This is awesome.
So, but these trucks, they came ready to run, everything you need in them. It's got an axial receiver ESC underneath the hood. So you can see there, it's very small. What I want to do is so they each came with one battery, and all the batteries are out of stock everywhere for these things. So what I want to do is I've got a couple, I've got like the Liperior 2S 500s and 1000s.
Just switch out the connector.
Well, what I want to do is create an adapter that goes from this. I found where I can buy some of these plugs. I want to go make an adapter from that to an XT30, and then I can use all my Liperior batteries.
Yeah.
So, and the fun thing about these is because they are full hobby grade.
So, I was going to ask if they were hobby grade.
You can buy replacement parts for every single piece on these. You can buy additional body covers.
That is awesome.
To like I could buy another one of these deadbolt body covers that's unpainted and everything.
Is the
painted all the
frame and everything the same?
There's minor differences to the frame because like the deadbolt uses 2 body clips to hold it down, whereas the Rubicon one uses 1. And then there's a couple other body styles you can get for this.
Look at that.
They're super fun.
That is awesome.
They also make these in a 1/10 scale. These were $110. The 1/10 scale is like $350.
A piece or total?
A piece. Yeah, they're not bad.
Yeah.
So that has been my latest outings, my newest products, but my word, these have been fun just rock crawling in the living room. So the battery goes, there's a battery board
right there
on the back with a little strap in place. It runs on a little brushed motor, and it has working headlights. I think you can buy working tail lights, and then there's a couple extra channels. It even has a working brake, so like when you let go of the throttle, the brake engages and it won't roll. And you can pull a plug to make the brake disengage, I think. So, but we'll play with these in a little bit once we're done recording.
That's pretty awesome.
But these things are so much fun. My boys absolutely love them. I absolutely love them.
I have. You said JS2, JST? Is that what the connector you're going to go on?
I forget what it's called.
Well, you want to be on the other side.
No, so I want to go from this plug to an XT30.
Oh, to an XT30. You're going to do a small one. Because I have. If you wanted to go to a JST.
Oh, I have plenty of JSTs. I hate them.
Okay.
They're the worst plugs in the world.
Because I don't have any of the small.
Yeah.
Ones.
I found where I can get these, so I want to make an adapter so I can use my other batteries. So
that's cool.
But even with my boys running full speed on these things,
the Liperior, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
These batteries these trucks will run for half hour, 45 minutes before they need to be recharged.
Really?
Yeah. And the fun thing is, so on the transmitter, it's a pistol grip transmitter.
Okay.
You can flip the cover on the back, and you can change from low, medium, and high speed. So I just put the boys in low speed, and the fastest it goes is like a slow crawl. It's great.
Which is perfect for your boys, because your oldest is 3.5.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
So I did that on purpose. And you can adjust your trims and everything from there, and your rates to adjust how much it steers. So these little things are awesome. Highly recommend them.
They look like fun. I've seen the Instagram stuff that he's put on there. Looks amazing. I haven't played with them yet.
We will.
That's coming in a minute. You're gonna miss that. Sorry. And then they're pretty awesome. I've been thinking, because we talked about this, of getting some rock crawlers and doing some rock crawling. But you have now 2 rock crawlers.
Like, I still want to get a 1/10 scale rock crawler to actually go do real rock crawling. But as a living room rock crawler,
those are amazing.
With cardboard, like, I've spent no money and I have quite the obstacle course set up.
That is awesome. I need to do that for my boy.
I would recommend these. I kind of, like, if I had the money, I'd go and buy 2 of all parts as replacement parts, just because I know at some point they're going to break and I'm going to need to replace parts.
Yeah, if you're rock crawling, you're gonna fall off something at some point.
Well, and the nice thing is, like, the last time we had these out and we're driving, my boys were dumping them off a box that was 2 feet off the ground.
They look like they can handle that without any problem.
No problems yet.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. What I'd like is, because that rock across the top has fake lights, but it looks like it's removable.
Yeah, I don't know if it is or not. It pivots, like the light bar on the deadbolt pivots.
That would be awesome if you could get real lights. Yeah. I mean, granted, all the little extra features of tail lights and headlights and lights everywhere.
Are bright too.
Well, they're LED. But it's going to cost. That's battery life, right? Yeah,
it's a steel frame.
Yeah,
it's a metal frame in there.
Yeah, it's nice looking.
And the
nice
thing is, so it comes with a metal frame and plastic connector points and all that stuff and crossbars, but you can go in and buy upgrade parts to change it all out for brass. So it's actually a fully weighted rock crawler, so you can, like, customize the weight and where the weight is so that it performs exactly how you want. You can buy metal hubs for the wheels.
That's fun.
You can buy, like, this differential cover in the back.
Yeah.
You can change that out for brass.
I like the black looking.
Yeah, but it's plastic.
I know, but I
like
the black.
And, like, they have listed on them how much each weighs, so you can, like, know exactly how you're weighting it down.
That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, like, these are fully, like, yeah, they look like little toys, and yeah, I'm giving them to my boys as toys, but they are full.
They're big boy toys.
Like, they're competition-ready crawlers for a 1/24th scale competition. So, yeah, they're awesome. I love them. Yeah.
All right.
They're super sweet.
That's your latest outings, too. Wait, no, you missed one.
My other latest outing. Went out today with Steven.
Yep, today.
And flew the only plane that I have working is the little gray FT freighter, the little differential controlled thing.
It's up there.
The little gray one. It's so much fun. I actually got some really good flights in it today, as you saw. Got it up, flew it around in a bunch of circles because the wind was it was a 2-mile-an-hour breeze, and that is the most this thing can handle.
It really is.
Yeah.
And even that is it can do it, but it's pushing it.
Yeah, but I did great. Got some nice level flights, lots of turns, good landings. It was awesome. So had a lot of fun.
You only almost crashed it once because the battery, not the battery,
but it lost signal.
The lost signal because of the battery.
Yeah, so I want to get a couple more batteries for it.
Those are the same for my.
They're little
quads.
1S 300 milliamp.
For my little quads that I have, my little 5-inch quads, that's the similar battery.
Oh, cool. Same plug?
Yeah, it's the exact same plug.
Can I
have the
steal
charger.
them? I'm going to steal those.
I have a bunch of them.
Can I steal a couple?
They're all different ratings.
What ratings being?
Like, they're all different ratings for your ampere hours.
Oh.
So mine are 350, 340.
This is 350.
That's 300.
Oh.
But they're all 3.7 volt.
Yeah.
All of them are 3.7 volt. They're readily available, and it's just the size, as long as that size fits. I have a bunch of them.
We'll have to look at that. That'd be fun. So, got out and flew that. Had a blast. Good times. All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear about what you did today when we went out.
Yeah, well, okay. So my slow stick that Derek gave me.
Yep.
The 2 of them. So I've been working on them, putting them together, making sure they're like the control surfaces are all working. Got the receiver hooked up to it, hooked up the battery. This was before I hooked up the motor. All the control surfaces were working great. The servos are all still great. So then I hooked up the motor. It wasn't attached to the plane yet. No propeller, just the motor.
Okay.
Running just fine. Works great. So I mount everything up, put the motor on, put the propeller on, get everything going, and I'm playing around with it in my office. I put the propeller on today, but last week I had everything else, and I was going to try to fly last weekend, but I just didn't get it all ready, and I wasn't able to. Just other things came up. So today I finished checking everything again, because, when you store it for a minute, you got to go back through everything, make sure nothing, did anything funny. Put the propeller on, which took a minute to figure out because I'd never worked with one before. Only took not even a full minute. I figured it out. It wasn't that hard. But got it all going, was playing around with the controls because everything was backwards. Everything was backwards. I turned left, it was turning right. I turned right, it turned left, so I had to reverse that. I pulled down to go up, it went down. The controller, down was down.
Had to reverse all your throws.
Reversed everything. So I get to the motor, and it's spinning the wrong way. And I'm like, this is going to fly backwards, which means it's not going to fly. So this was funny. It scared me, but it was funny. I reversed it. That's not what I wanted to do.
Did it not work?
No.
Oh, it immediately spun up.
It spun up and tried to go on my desk backwards.
So you had to throw your stick to the top.
I did, and then I reversed it back. So then I had to drop my stick back down. So it was, but that time I was holding onto the plane because I knew it was going to happen.
You'd think you'd unplug it.
Well, I did later, but it didn't break anything. Nothing got damaged. It just scared me, and I as soon as I started doing it, I'm like, oh yeah, duh. Makes perfect sense. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. What I needed to do, which is what I ended up doing, was just reversing the negative and the positive leads on the motor, leaving the control. That's all you had to do.
There is no negative and positive.
Yes, there is.
There isn't.
We'll talk about it later.
We will. There's not.
There is.
There's not.
There is.
Because it doesn't matter which of the three you switch. It'll turn it around either way.
No, it won't.
I'll get out one of my things.
We'll
okay.
We'll argue about this off camera because you don't care, and maybe you do, but
but they know I'm right.
They are not agreeing with you right now.
No,
I'm telling you.
Comment in the comments or send us a message.
Let us know what you think on that. Please.
Yep. Okay. Carry on though. You switched two of them.
I switched the red wire and the black wire.
Okay.
With each other, and it worked perfectly.
I'm sure it did.
Because
I don't doubt that at all.
You can't just switch random ones. Anyway.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. No, you can't. Yes,
anyway.
I've got one that's got all three black wires.
So
find the positive and negative on that one.
Now, after that, so I took it out Saturday. Today to the 1st. And today is January 1st. So
Yay!
We took it out. I'm like, hey, Derek, I'm going to go over to the park. If you want to show up. He's like, yes, maybe, sure. I'll be over in 15 minutes. This was over about a 30-minute conversation. 30.
It's like a 10-minute conversation.
Anyway, it was a few-minute conversation that this was happening, mostly him being excited about going out.
Yeah, I haven't flown or done anything in a long time.
So by the time I got everything ready, it was basically the time that Derek was going to be getting over there. So I got over there, got all my stuff over there, and I'm setting it up, and I'm so nervous to fly this thing because everything I fly breaks. Everything I fly breaks. I flew the discus launcher the most because it's really hard to break that thing.
And you did.
I still did, but that was not entirely my fault, I don't think. And but I'm sick and tired of everything I fly break. So I was super, super nervous. I'm checking everything. Everything looks great. I'm on kind of thick grass. I'm hoping to do a takeoff, not just a throw launch, but an actual
A roll off the ground.
roll off the ground takeoff. Like that's what I was hoping for. It moved a little bit and the grass was too thick, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, oh wait, the baseball diamond is freshly leveled. Great.
Yeah.
So I walk over to there. It's only a few hundred feet from where I was standing. So I walk over there, I set it down, and I move forward slowly. It curves inappropriately, so I do some minor tweaking. Again, I'm being super cautious.
Yeah.
So then I level it out, get it ready. I've centered of gravity. I had to put an extra battery on the front to do center of gravity because the battery that his father-in-law had designed it for was a heavier battery, which, again, not a big deal. I can make some modifications later to that to fix that. But the batteries I was using was the one I talked about earlier today.
It was designed to fly on this, a 3,000 milliamp battery, and Steven was flying it on a 2,200.
Yep. Which is great. I mean, those 2200s are awesome batteries. I've been using them a ton. But so I get it out there, got a nice straight shot, and I floor it, and the thing, it kind of wobbles a little, and I think I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
So I throttle it back, and I turn it, and it kind of touches the wing a little bit and spins a little. Not that hard. It didn't look bad. You saw the video.
It doesn't look terrible.
And
like nothing that anyone else hasn't already done 1,000 times.
Yeah, exactly. And I walk over to it, and the motor is like this. It's dangling, and the propeller I've taken off is
torn to shreds.
Shredded. And I'm like, what happened? I didn't even get off the ground. So what it looks like is this motor is a really old motor. Like
it's probably 15 years old.
Yeah. And so it had some wear and tear on it. And so what I'm thinking, and then Derek kind of agrees, is it just the torque when it turned pulled the motor, wrenched the motor out of itself because it had been worn out too much.
Yep.
And that's what it looks like when we started investigating it. And so when that harsh turn hit, now I'm actually glad it wasn't in the air.
Oh, yeah.
Because it would have killed the plane.
Yeah.
Because I'm betting any hard turn would have torqued it too much.
Probably.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Or a sudden up or sudden down could have potentially torqued it out. And then I would have been free fall or just fall.
Mm-hmm.
Falling. And that would have been horrible. Because this thing I don't think is going to glide very well without
they actually
power.
glide pretty well.
Do they? They're light. They're very lightweight.
They're light, and when you're using the undercambered wing, it glides super smooth.
Okay, so I could have glided it.
Yeah,
roughly to the ground.
You would have been able to get it down.
Well, it was coming down no matter what.
Yeah. You would have had a good opportunity to get it down safely.
Okay, perfect. So
whether you would have gotten it down safely is another matter.
I can land-ish. That's what I have when I test. When I fly in the systems and the simulators, all I'm doing is landing.
Yeah.
Because I can fly it. Once I get in the air, I can fly it. And most of my stuff have been gliders, so now I got to do some rolling takeoffs. But anyway, so today I found a place that sells this exact same model, so I'm going to buy a couple of those. Actually, I've already bought a couple, and they should be here in a couple weeks. A couple days.
If you're wondering, these are Hymax Outrunner brushless motors, so really good motors.
Yes.
Good quality stuff.
Yes, and this is the HC 2812, the 1080.
Yep.
So it's a great motor, as far as I could tell. But when
it's the same motor that I run on my. It's the same. Like I have a different size of one on my.
You don't
Cub.
have the 2812. It's something else.
No, I have a bigger one.
Yeah, it's an HC,
and that's a lower kV rating on that one.
But one thing he did notice when he was listening to the video when we were playing it back,
the motor sounded super off.
The motor was probably wobbling, and when I tested it the first couple times, I'm holding the motor itself, so it's not going to wobble the same.
Well, and also if like you put on a prop that's not balanced, that'll induce a lot of wobble, and that like honestly, an imbalanced prop could have done this.
The prop looked brand new, like it'd never been used, but so just a bad prop, I guess.
That's entirely possible.
So that I was so sad. I wanted to get it in the air. I'm like, I should be able to fly.
You were well. You were well on your way to getting it in the air. Yeah, you just had a bum motor.
Yeah, and so they'll be here at the end of this week, the end of next week, sorry. So a week before this publishes, they'll be, I'll have my stuff, so I'm hoping I can get out and fly.
Sweet.
But the other thing, while we were talking about it, I'm going to go right into this, is, the slow stick. I'm excited to get out and fly it again, so when those parts come in, I'm going to get out and fly that.
Absolutely.
I got some parts coming. I'm gonna, because we talked about it. So Derek's like, let's just get you a foam board from Flight Test,
Something cheap and easy.
cheap. So every time I break it, we can just
hot glue it back together.
Yeah,
until it's all hot glue, and then we build a new one.
Yeah. And so I've got one of those coming, and then I've got all the components for it. So the plane itself is $29.
Yep.
We could probably build it
for $3
to $5. Three, really?
I've built it. It's
$3.
It's 3 sheets of foam board.
So $3.
$3.
So,
but he bought the laser cut kit from Flight Test with their waterproof foam board.
Yes, I did. So it should be a lot better.
It'll be super awesome. Better than the Dollar Tree stuff.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to actually be able to get out and fly the thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the plane and all of the.
You got the Power Pack A that is designed for it, and then you also got the FT-Aura 5 board, which is a flight controller.
Yeah.
So you plug your receiver into that, and then that controls your power motor and your servos and all that. And you can turn on stabilization mode. So like Horizon hobby planes come with AS3X and safe modes. This is that for any other airplane.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I don't know if I'll use that the whole time, but I'll probably put it in and fly with it to begin with.
Absolutely. Might as well.
So
you need some good solid practice.
I do. And I just haven't had the plane that has given me that.
Yeah.
And it's been really sad. I also ordered the replacement parts for my propeller for my glider.
Yay!
So my Radeon glider, they're all back order, so those will be March before I'll get those.
You didn't try going into a hobby store?
They're closed today.
You didn't wait till tomorrow?
I'll go in tomorrow.
Okay.
But I have other things I have to do tomorrow.
That's true.
But I am planning on going.
Okay.
But they don't open until 10 or 11. And so we'll see how far my other projects go. No, it's about
I know.
the honey-do list.
I know.
Because I'm married.
Yay. That's a good thing. All right, carry on.
So I've got the other thing I was looking at is like part of my projects is I want to get me some more spare receivers sitting around the house. And some more ESCs for the cars and stuff like that. So I'm going to look at getting some components that I don't have anything specific for yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just going to buy some off components. Maybe tomorrow when I go into the hobby shops, I might pick up some more there, along with some propellers and the different things. So I'm just looking to get a few more components. So if I want to change up something or if I'm looking at doing something, I have some on hand.
Yeah.
Just
good plan.
I haven't made any progress yet, which is why I want to get some more receivers because I'm using the same receiver on all of my projects right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, almost all of them because I haven't put it in the truck yet. So the truck, the truck runs great. I love driving the truck. Truck is really fun. The lights aren't working yet because I haven't figured out. Derek sent me some stuff to look at, but they're using their own code to do what they want to do, and it's a little different than what I want. I could probably modify it to make it work, but so I'm still doing some research. That's why I want to get me another receiver. So I can just use the S-Bus channel and I can just send the signal that way.
There you go.
It simplifies it because S-Bus is a very specific way, a very specific protocol for communications.
Yeah.
And that I can just use. So with all of that, I haven't made any more progress with that because I'm going to be getting some more components and stuff, and I'll probably get some more receivers.
Okay.
So I can play around with that,
Sweet.
and just have some stuff to just throw in when I want to try some new things, and just instead of having, all right, I'm gonna play with this one today and put that. I mean, it's nice that I can do that.
But you want more.
But I want some more. So
yeah, I want to
some.
get at least 3 more receivers.
Yeah.
Because right now I've got 1 working RX6R and 1 working Archer GR6 or G6X, G6R, GR6. I don't remember the 6-channel glider receiver.
Okay. Yeah.
So I need to get it. I want 1 more of those to go in my Gentle Lady, and then a couple of this regular 6 channels. So
yeah. So that's
nice.
Yeah. Those are. Those are my project updates. So
right.
I'm hoping the flight test will be here the end of next week, I think, is what it said.
Okay.
So it's just the back order stuff that's going to be back in March.
Yeah. Nice.
Everything else I should have by the end of next week so I can put it together.
Sweet.
And get out and fly a little bit.
Nice. All right. My projects?
Yes.
All right. So I've been working on my Willy-Nilly's Gentle Lady. I've got the fuselage mostly glued up.
It's looking good.
It's coming along nicely. I'm taking my time with it because I really want to make sure I do it right. But yeah, that's coming along. The plan, I've also been working on, I think I mentioned that I was going to make plans for it, build plans. I've got those. Those are coming along nicely. I don't know how well this is going to show on screen, but I'll at least show you. So there's a top, side, and bottom view, labeling all the parts and showing where they all go.
That looks nice. I don't know if they'll be able to see it, but
probably not, but we're going to try and show it. So there it is, nice and big.
I kind of can see it.
But it'll probably show better once you're editing and you can actually see it full size rather than the tiny little camera screen. So yeah, been working on that. That's been going well. That is like the extent of my projects. But other than that, like future projects, so I put a new section in here and you kind of talked about it a little bit, but plans for this new year I have decided to make a dedicated project list so I don't get swamped by I want that and I want to do that and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because I've got things I want to do. So on my project list for this coming year, as well as plans for this next year, I'm going to get the Gentle Lady finished. I want to finish the EF-16 as well as my Chaos Wing. I want to build at least one of my small Gillows kits, not my B-17, but the small ones up there in the corner.
Yep.
I want to build at least one of those. And I want to convert my HPI Savage Nitro truck to electric.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Because once I get that electric and I can drive it all the time, I will. Because that is a fun truck.
Yeah, are you going to put the larger so you can put the bigger battery in there?
No. Our big 6S batteries?
You're just going to go with a 3S?
No. So when you run the kit that I get
is fun.
It is. It has 2 little battery bays.
Okay.
One for either side of the frame, and you put 2S battery in each one, and you wire them in parallel.
So you get a 4S. Got it.
So that is what I will be doing.
Okay.
So I will have to talk to Richard about some high discharge and high.
So like 95C or higher. Because I know they have some 95C.
65 or higher, honestly.
You think 65 will be enough of a kick?
So the way you determine how much amps it can put out is you multiply the C rating by the milliamp rating.
Okay.
And that tells you the amps you can put out. It's a weird conversion.
Okay.
I'm still not fully sure of it, but that is the basic of it. So you can have a high milliamp battery with a technically low, 35C.
But you're still getting a high kick because
But you'll get a high kick because it's a combination of the two, as opposed to a small 300 milliamp 95C.
Yeah.
That's still going to be a low amp.
Overall rating, because it's a combination of the two.
Exactly.
A multiplication of the two.
Yeah.
Got
so
it.
that's my plan there. Yeah, so have I. That's why I figured it out. And then I also hope, my big yellow plane up above us, his name is Patches. I hope to get him up in the air at least once.
With the nitro?
Yeah.
That-
Yeah, he's staying nitro.
Okay.
I have
cool.
to keep him true to the nitro.
Where's
and
the swing?
It's in the bathroom.
Oh.
Bathroom / storage room. And then I should also put on there, I need to work on my Goldberg Anniversary Edition Cub that's over at my father-in-law's house. So, because that's been sitting and waiting, and it needs work done. I need to get that thing going. So, that is my project list and hopes and dreams for this coming year. I still have a huge list of like stuff I want. We'll see how that goes, because I also
Have 3 kids now.
have 3 kids, and I'm redoing my entire backyard this next year. So a lot of time and money is going to be going into house projects and honeydews.
It's the time that's going to keep you from flying.
Yeah, exactly.
Not so much the money. It's the time.
So yeah,
Because-
that is my list of plans for this coming year. Share with us your plans for this coming year. We'd love to hear what you got going on.
Yeah, that'd be great.
What's going on?
You're putting your hand too close to the autofocus.
Focus on my hand.
Made us all go blurry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Any beginner tips?
Well,
Or is there anything else you want to go
no.
over?
Well, the big one is like my plan for this year, because I saw that. Like, I don't have any specific projects in mind yet, but I want to get out and fly.
Yeah.
So that's why I've got that kit coming and stuff like that. And I want to get out and do some more flying and driving with the kids.
Yeah.
So one of my things is because I've seen those rock crawlers. If my son doesn't want to do it, maybe my daughter will want to get out and do some remote, because she's a teenage daughter, so I'm not sure what she would like to do.
She's her own thing.
But that's what I want, is I want to get out and I want to use this hobby to spend more time outside with my kids.
Nice.
So that's my goal. That's my thing. I may end up having to get some more, either another transmitter or...
Free Sky just announced their newest one. It looks amazing.
Or just some more ready to drive, ready to fly stuff that already have their own transmitters.
The new Free Sky one looks amazing. Oh, my word.
We can talk about it later.
Looks like the QX7 had a baby with the Horus X12, and it's beautiful.
Really?
It's amazing. Oh, my word. It's so cool.
I haven't even looked at any of the new stuff.
It looks so sweet.
Okay.
They just announced it last week.
I'm excited then.
It's so cool.
All right.
It's going to be like $500.
We'll see. So, what about beginner tips?
Okay, beginner tips. So, be careful what you're gluing, or when gluing, be careful, because you see that little gray patch on the side of this thing? That is from, so I have these aluminum angle stock that I was using to maintain square as I was gluing these into place. Like, so I put, there's a tray in the middle that the two sides of the fuselage go up to, and I was using one on either side to make sure everything stayed square and upright and all that stuff. And I poured the glue in, and then I went to pull these things off, and they were attached. I had glued these angle pieces to the fuselage. I then had to do some very careful razor blade work to get them off without completely destroying the fuselage, and I did quite well.
Like, yeah, you did pretty good.
It just means I have some extra sanding I need to do.
You know what? That might help. Wax paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you see, I have wax paper down on my work surface.
I mean, that's a good start.
I know, right? So just be very careful when you're working with glue, like where that glue could go.
I just want to say, when I saw this, I actually began laughing because I have done that myself.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I thought it was hilarious. And it's a great beginner tip, actually.
Yeah.
And wax paper will save you a ton of headaches, by the way. It actually is not just for your workspace. Put it on your clamps, too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll do that now. So, but again, with some creative knife work, I got it off.
And there's lesson learned, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm sharing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's why I'm saying wax paper is your friend. You're going to want to buy if you're doing these models. I've never done like models like this.
I have a roll of wax paper down here.
Now.
No, it's been down here for a while. That's where I got the sheet of wax paper that's on my build surface. I just did not think that it would seep through and attach itself to my blocks.
You know how porous balsa wood is, right?
Oh, but it didn't even go through the pores of the balsa wood. It went through the joints
Where they're
connecting. The pieces connect to each other.
where there's actually like
where there's an actual
space.
gap. Yeah. Where it's supposed to. Like where the glue is supposed to go, it went. Surprise, surprise. Never would have guessed that, clearly. You okay?
I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
He's not okay.
sorry. That's funny. But perfect example.
Oh, yeah.
So wax paper is your best friend. When
I've
you're
heard
gluing.
a lot of people have really good luck with like clear plastic wrap, like saran wrap or cling wrap,
You
that
have to
sort of
be
stuff.
careful with the plastic wrap because some of the glues will react to it
Yeah,
and
well,
melt it. So
I'm just going off what I've seen people use on like YouTube and
yeah,
stuff.
but that's why, like I said, I've never done this type of models. I've built other models and I've done other glue projects.
Yeah.
And wax paper is the preferred, my preferred, because the wax, I have not found a single glue that reacts badly to the wax.
That's always nice.
You might glue the wax paper to your project,
But that
but
sands
it's
off.
not a big deal. It's not gluing a
Aluminum
20-ounce
block.
aluminum block. It's gluing a 0.001.
Half a gram.
Yeah, not even that much. Like very, very little amount of wax paper. And that wax paper, you can tear it
Yeah.
without tearing your balsa wood.
It's true. Nothing. Hey, I have done nothing that a tiny bit of wood filler won't fix. Like tiny amount.
But no, yeah, wax paper should save you a ton of headaches when you're into the building of the models. Like I said, I'm not a model builder because of all of the headaches that you get from it. It's not my favorite thing, but the kit that's coming, I'm going to have to build it.
But it builds with super like hot
I know
glue. It's
they
so
even
easy.
sell as a recommended item the hot glue gun.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we noticed you're probably going to need this too. I didn't buy it because I already have a hot glue gun.
There you go.
But they do sell it.
Yeah, the tiny trainer's super easy to build.
Yeah. So
That was the first plane that I built and flew myself, and I cut it all out by hand
by hand?
with an X-Acto knife.
You're insane.
I was really like, if you go find my regular YouTube channel, Savage X89, it's my first flight video. I actually did pretty well.
I'm excited. So
All right.
my thing.
Your beginner tip.
Sometimes things break.
Yep.
I mean, it just does. At no fault of mine. It really is no fault of mine.
I agree. I don't think it was your fault. I think it was a bad
That
motor.
motor just broke.
Yep.
Knowing now that it was 15 years old, I'm not super surprised.
Well, and like when looking at it, yeah, it's kind of deteriorated since we've played with it, but a lot of the wires in here are pretty chewed up.
Yeah.
So it was on its way out anyway. So what I'm going to take this and play with, make like the building process of a brushless motor.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Better understand how these things work.
Brushless motors are amazing. Thank you, Tesla. The man, not the company.
Yep. All right.
Nikola Tesla. Anyway,
Any other
so
thoughts?
yeah, that's it. Just sometimes things break, like they just do, and there's nothing you can do about it except, maybe shed a tear
and then fix it. Yep. All right.
I though believe that the universe is trying to tell me to not be a pilot. That's what my belief is.
We'll see how the tiny trainer goes, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I want to fly. I have fun when I do. The discus launch, the elf was. I don't have the elf, but that would be anyway. Because every time,
I can send it to you.
it is fun. That thing was fun to fly. I enjoyed flying. I want to fly other things, but they keep breaking, and money is expensive.
It's a true story. It's a true story.
Do you have anything else?
No, I don't. I think we should call it. We're past an hour. We'll stop chatting your ears off. So with that, remember, when flying inverted, up is down and down is expensive. RPM is how hard you hit the ground, and torque is how far you have to dig to get yourself out. Have a good one, guys.
See you guys.